Something massive is happening at Nissan right now, and it's sending shockwaves through the entire automotive industry. Dealership lots are buzzing, prices are doing the unthinkable, and car buyers are scrambling to take advantage of what many are calling a once-in-a-decade opportunity. What just happened, and why is Nissan making such a bold move? Stick around, because this isn't just another automaker trying to move metal. This is a seismic shift that could redefine how we look at the car market. It all started with a simple press release, but what followed has the potential to transform the way people buy cars in 2025. Nissan has officially confirmed a sweeping liquidation initiative across key models, and industry insiders are calling it one of the boldest plays we've seen from the company in years. Why? Because Nissan isn't just clearing out old inventory, they're making room for something big, a fresh lineup that promises to reinvent the brand. But before that future arrives, they've got to move what's currently on the lots, and fast. So, what sparked this dramatic shift? First, look at the numbers. Nissan has been sitting on unusually high inventory levels in certain regions, particularly for models like the Rogue, Altima, and even the Frontier. Combine that with growing pressure from rival automakers ramping up incentives and tech-packed refreshes, and you've got a perfect storm. But rather than play it safe, Nissan went all in. They've launched what some dealerships are calling the most aggressive pricing and bonus structure in recent memory. We're talking about vehicles being moved at near wholesale levels in some locations, especially on 2024 models that have to make way for their redesigned 2025 successors. Across the country, Nissan dealerships are seeing a sudden spike in foot traffic. One Midwest dealer reported that within 72 hours of the announcement, their test drive requests tripled. Tripled why? Because when buyers catch wind of a liquidation like this, especially from a brand like Nissan, it triggers a gold rush mentality. People aren't just shopping, they're competing for what's left. And here's the wild part. Some dealers are even bundling in additional local incentives to keep up with the pace, creating what looks more like a Black Friday frenzy than a traditional car buying experience. Let's break it down. What cars are people actually rushing to buy? Top of the list? The Nissan Rogue, no surprise there. It's consistently one of their best-selling models, and with current markdowns, it's now competing directly with some used crossovers on the market in terms of pricing. Next up is the Altima, sedan that's been quietly refining its tech and performance over the last few years, and now it's hitting driveways for what some are calling absurdly affordable deals. Then there's the Nissan Titan, which many thought was fading into obscurity, but guess what? With the right offer, buyers are snatching them up at an accelerating pace, especially fleet buyers who see long-term value in full-size pickups without the premium price tag. And don't overlook the Leaf. Yes, Nissan's all-electric. Pioneer. As EV competition heats up, Nissan's pricing strategy on the Leaf is putting pressure on every other budget EV in the game. It's no longer just about going green. It's about getting a deal that feels like it came from 2019. Here's the big question. Why should you care? Because Nissan's latest move is bigger than just one brand. It's already forcing competitors to rethink their pricing strategies, especially in a market where inflation, high interest rates, and cautious consumer spending are making car shopping a challenge. By choosing to liquidate now, Nissan is rewriting the rules and potentially setting off a domino effect that could shake up inventory strategies across the board. But this also signals something deeper. A reset in how automakers are preparing for the future. Nissan isn't just clearing the decks. They're making space for a new era of electrification, tech integration, and global market realignment. Think about it. The brand has already teased the next generation of vehicles, models with revamped designs, upgraded interiors, AI-powered driver assistance, and bold EV strategies that go far beyond what the Leaf started. This isn't just a refresh, it's a rebrand in motion. And the current liquidation wave is the first domino to fall. Behind the scenes, Nissan's leadership has been quietly building toward this moment, after years of mixed signals, from slowing sedan sales to global restructuring. This is the company putting its foot down and saying, "We're not waiting anymore." Insiders say Nissan's focus is shifting toward 4 pillars. Global electrification, with SHOCKS, new solid-state battery concepts already in development. regional streamlining, tailoring models more specifically to US, European, and Asian markets. Smart manufacturing, leveraging AI and automation to reduce costs and speed up turnaround. Aggressive, market re-entry, especially in segments they've lost ground in, like compact trucks and performance sedans. This liquidation sale isn't just about sales targets, it's a cleansing fire, clearing space for a rebirth. And the public? Oh, they've noticed. Social media has exploded with posts from new Nissan, buyers showing off their deals. TikTok is full of walkarounds and unboxings of freshly bought Frontiers and Sentras. Reddit threads are flooded with questions like, is this deal real? Can I still get in on this at my local dealer? Is this the start of a price war? Some call it a marketing masterstroke. Others are wondering if this is the first sign of desperation. But one thing's for sure, Nissan has everyone's attention right now. If you're thinking about jumping in, here's what you need to keep in mind. Inventory varies drastically by region. What's available in Texas might be completely sold out in New Jersey. Some models, like the Kicks or Pathfinder, are seeing faster turnover due to limited supply even before this announcement. And timing. It's critical. Once a model is gone, from the lot it's not coming back, at least not at these prices. This is a classic case of when they're gone, they're gone. We're even hearing reports of buyers driving hundreds of miles just to grab what they couldn't find locally. That's how hot this fire sale has become. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Nissan isn't acting in a vacuum. Their move could be the spark that forces other automakers, especially Honda, Toyota, and Hyundai, to rethink their inventory strategies in the coming months. If Nissan successfully resets consumer expectations around pricing and value, everyone else will have to respond, or risk falling behind. We're watching the start of what could be a pricing war, not just on paper, but in real-world showrooms, across America. And if Nissan's next-gen lineup delivers on the innovation they've been hinting at, this may not just be a temporary shakeup, it could mark the start of a comeback story for a brand that many had underestimated. So, what's next? What happens after the dust settles from this wild wave of deals? Well, Nissan's roadmap includes some intriguing models on the horizon, especially in the EV and hybrid space. There's chatter about a new electric crossover that could rival the Tesla Model Y on both price and performance. And don't forget the Ariya, which may finally get the spotlight it deserves once the Leaf inventory is cleared. But perhaps the most exciting part is what's not yet revealed. Industry analysts believe Nissan has been unusually tight-lipped for a reason. They're holding something back, something big, and with this massive liquidation clearing the way, we're betting it's coming sooner than anyone expected. And that something big could be Nissan's ace up its sleeve, a new flagship vehicle or technology platform that redefines the brand's identity for the next decade. There's growing speculation that Nissan is preparing to unveil an entirely new EV architecture, one that's modular, scalable, and capable of underpinning everything from compact sedans to full-size SUVs. The goal? Cut production time, boost performance, and lower EV prices in a way that could shake Tesla, Ford, and GM to their core. Some insiders are even whispering about a new ZEV. Yes, you heard that right. A fully electric spiritual successor to the iconic Nissan Z sports car, a bold blend of heritage and innovation that could signal Nissan's return to the performance spotlight and prove that electric doesn't have to mean boring. What we're witnessing isn't just a clearance event, it's a moment of reinvention. For years, Nissan has been caught between being a budget-friendly option and a legacy performance brand. Now, it looks like they're choosing a third path, one rooted in ambition, value, and bold design. Take the Ariya, for example. Early adopters were impressed, but the model didn't break through like Nissan had hoped. That's about to change. With the Leaf stepping aside, the Ariya gets breathing room, and Nissan has plans to turbocharge its visibility, improve range and software, and position it squarely against the rising tide of mid-priced electric crossovers. And that's not all. Nissan is reportedly planning a global marketing blitz, pushing the brand into new conversations, new partnerships, and potentially even new motorsport ventures. as a way to energize its public image and show it's not just another automaker trying to keep up. It's trying to lead. All of this spells opportunity, not just for Nissan, but for you, the buyer. If you've been holding out for a deal, if you've been waiting for a signal that it's the right time to buy, this might be it. The market rarely hands out moments of alignment like this. Massive incentives, strong availability, and a clear incentive for the automaker to move fast. You're not just getting a good deal, you're stepping into a major turning point in the automotive timeline. And here's the kicker. Dealers know it too. Some are going the extra mile with loyalty programs, low APR financing, extended warranties, and even free maintenance packages. If you walk in informed and maybe a little bold, you can walk out with a deal that a year ago would have seemed impossible. But blink, and it might all be over. Auto analysts are watching this move with wide eyes. Some are applauding Nissan's gutsy strategy. Others are sounding the alarm. They warn that if the liquidation strategy doesn't lead to sustained sales momentum with the next generation lineup, Nissan could risk burning through brand equity too fast. They've made a big bet, and once these vehicles are gone, the transition must be smooth, or risk losing the momentum they've just sparked. And this ripple effect could also impact used car values. As new Nissans sell for unheard-of prices, used inventory, especially models from the past 2 or 3 years, might see a temporary dip in resale value. Great if you're buying, not so great if you're trying to trade in. So it begs the question, is this the best time to jump on a deal? Or the last window before a major industry correction? Here's the bottom line. If you're in the market, or even thinking about being in the market, now is the time to do your homework. Start with your local dealer's inventory. Call ahead. Ask what's left, what's moving fast, and what additional local promotions may be in play. Every dealership is reacting differently, and the ones who've leaned in early, they're flying through inventory. Check for loyalty bonuses, student discounts, first responder offers, anything that could stack on top of this unprecedented moment. This is one of the few times where the buyer holds all the cards. And if you've had your eye on a Nissan but hesitated because of pricing or availability, this is the green light you've been waiting for. But don't go anywhere just yet. Because in the next few weeks, Nissan is rumored to be unveiling not one, but multiple vehicles that will define its future strategy. One of them, a next-gen EV crossover that could directly challenge the Model Y and Mustang Mach-E, not just in range or features, but in affordability. And another, a surprise concept that insiders claim will be the boldest design Nissan has rolled out in over a decade. Some are calling it the return of the Nissan Edge, a styling philosophy that once made models like the Murano and Cube cult icons. So if this liquidation is the storm, what's coming next might just be the rebuild. What's coming next might just be the rebuild, and it could mark the beginning of a brand renaissance that nobody saw coming. Now, this isn't just a US story. What Nissan is doing here is echoing globally. In Europe, the brand has already begun phasing out internal combustion in key markets, preparing for a near 100% electric future. In Asia, especially Japan, and parts of Southeast Asia, Nissan is experimenting with new hybrid platforms that offer extreme fuel efficiency with minimal emissions. But here's the twist. The US is becoming the testbed for aggressive liquidation and realignment. If this move works here, we could see Nissan apply the same playbook in Canada, Australia, and even South America. Why the US first? Simple. It's the largest, most competitive battleground for automakers and also the most sensitive to price shifts and consumer sentiment. If Nissan can flip the narrative here, win back lapsed customers, and attract first-time buyers, they'll have the confidence and momentum to take these bold moves worldwide. Behind closed doors, Nissan dealers are describing this moment as intense and transformational. Some dealerships that were on the brink of scaling back operations are suddenly back in growth mode, adding staff, staying open longer, and even holding late-night inventory countdown events. One dealer in southern California described how they moved more cars in 2 weeks than they had in the prior 2 months. It's like the switch got flipped overnight, he said. The phones won't stop ringing. But with that success comes pressure. Some dealers are already running low on key trims and are urging Nissan to accelerate delivery of whatever Inventory remains. It's a high-wire act. Sell fast, but don't burn out. And it shows just how closely tied this campaign is to Nissan's larger revival strategy. Let's talk about real people, real buyers. Meet Carlos, a contractor in Phoenix, who had his eyes on a Frontier for over a year, but couldn't justify the cost. Then came the announcement. Within 48 hours, he traded in his old Tacoma and drove off the lot with a brand new 2024 Frontier, under budget, fully loaded, or Jasmine, a college student in North Carolina, who needed a reliable, safe commuter car. She was shocked to find that a new Sentra, with advanced safety features and smartphone integration, actually cost less than the 3-year-old used Civic she was considering. Stories like these are everywhere right now, and they're fueling word-of-mouth momentum that Nissan couldn't buy with any advertising budget. This is organic buzz, built on the back of real people finding real value in a market that's felt anything but affordable. But you know who else is watching? Nissan's rivals. Behind the scenes, Ford is reportedly monitoring how this plays out before adjusting incentives on the Escape and Maverick. Toyota dealers are raising concerns that Nissan's rogue pricing is undercutting their RAV4 so severely that they may need to respond with updated lease terms and loyalty cash. And GM? Well, there's talk that they may fast-track promotions on select Chevrolet models, especially the Equinox and Trailblazer, to stay competitive in regions where Nissan is pulling ahead in volume. What we're seeing right now is the early stages of a chain reaction. Nissan made the first move, but don't be surprised if we see other automakers follow suit, turning this liquidation into an all-out value war. So, what does this all mean for you? It means that the window is now. A rare alignment of industry, forces, buyer incentives, and brand ambition is creating an automotive moment unlike anything we've seen since the post-recession years. Whether you're a Nissan fan or not, whether you're shopping or just watching from the sidelines, this is the moment that could define where the market goes next. Nissan has thrown down the gauntlet, and they're just getting started.